Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be all about the new champion in the contest, Ronan. And what are the things I do like about him, what are the things I don't like about him, and whether I do think he's like any good. But yeah, so first of all, let's go over the few positives this guy has. The best thing he has going on for him is the fact that he can shrug off like all the debuffs. That is really awesome. That's an amazing piece of utility, and that will come in handy if you choose to play this character more often. Because yeah, he can technically do all the poison, bleed, incinerate, and so on. And so he does that. He has that utility, which is kind of like semi-immunity, but it's not as good of a ghost like as Ghost has. So in that sense, you can kind of look at him a bit of like as a discount Ghost. However, second good bit is when he's in his perfect guard stance, he has massively increased perfect block chance, and the best bit about that is interaction with parry mastery. So parry mastery extends stun duration based on your perfect block chance, so you're gonna have always like fairly long stuns, and the best thing is that stun duration increase isn't affected by limber. So even on limber nodes, you're gonna have infinite amount of parries, which is a nice piece of utility for the character. Some people might be overlooking, but yeah, those are pretty much the only two things I really like about the character, so it's not really all that much. Now let's talk about his damage output. His damage output, as we see here in Fight Against Winter Soldier, isn't awful, but when we're going to be comparing it against some other characters, like if I had to rank it, it's just like slightly above average kind of damage output, but also a lot of that relies on bleed, and that's never like a good sign for a character, because there are many champions that are kind of like immune to bleed, that have immunities or shrug off effects and so on. So not like a big fan about the fact that so much of his damage comes from bleed. But anyways, so yeah, his damage output, as I'm going to be showing, and then this video is actually kind of making a point that his damage output is pretty average, to be honest, and that's like the only thing I hear people talk about. When it comes to his utilities, aside from ability to shrug off debuffs, he doesn't really offer much. One of his stances do grant 40% ability reduction, which isn't bad, and his level 1 grants an additional 50% ability reduction. But that's, again, nothing kind of like too impressive. It just feels like he's a mix mash of gimped versions of many different characters. So like his perfect block stance combined with his level 1s essentially something like a similar discount to Captain America Infinity War, because in Captain Infinity War has always perfect parries, great block proficiency, and he has 100% chance ability accuracy reduction, 100% on his level 1. So that's pretty much like one champion that has all of his abilities that we just mentioned that we do like, and they're much better. Captain America can also shrug off debuffs via his signature ability, so there we go. So this guy can't really do anything Captain America Infinity War can't, for instance. And the same would go kind of like for many different champions. This champion has similarities to several champions, but he doesn't do any of the things like as well as they do. Like his bleed damage, bleed stacks could possibly remind you, let's say, of Carnage or Nick Fury, but Carnage at least has like a increased power gain, and yes, an unblockable special, so that makes him like winding up really much easier. Plus you do not have to like jerk about with his stance combos and like 2, 3, 4 hit mediums and stuff like that, and that kind of like picks apart your fighting rhythm. And Nick Fury, again, like Nick Fury just he does a lot of bleeds, but he also has many different things going for him. He can go completely unblockable, and his bleeds are more effective. So when it comes to like rating the champion, I struggle to kind of find one thing that he does like really well that other champions can't do better and more. But anyway, so we're here approaching the end of the fight. So it's 285 hits. I think we're going to finish something around the line of 295, 93 hits. I think he's going to tag me here at the end, but yeah. So our rank 3 Ronan took 290, how many? Let's check it out in a second. of course, network connection issues. So it took 294 hits at rank 3 to get down a Winter Soldier. But I did kind of like a test comparison against the Winter Soldier using my Night Thrasher. And keep in mind, Night Thrasher is only rank 2, so he's entire rank below Ronin. And we can see the damage output here, like rank 2 Night Thrasher hits harder, his bleeds are bigger, he's like permanent shock and stuff like that. So yeah, he's going properly to the town, and even a rank 2 Night Thrasher basically is gonna out damage this Ronin. Now, Ronin, granted, he has like a better use with Suicide Masteries. He wears them a lot better than Night Thrasher does. But that's kind of not the point. Like, if we would remove suicides from both characters, the outcome would be exactly the same kind of like thing. Just, yeah, because Night Thrasher would still be a lot faster with or without suicides. So yeah, when it comes to damage output, it's really not up there. It's kind of like 6 out of 10 mark, like if we compare it to like the biggest hitters. So yeah, that's the huge, nice damage theory. I would like to see how a rank 5 5-star performs. Perhaps that changes him up. But so far at the ranks that I do have him, he really isn't shining all that great. So now we're gonna head in Act 5, Chapter 3, Quest 5. That's a skill quest, just to kind of like check him in like some medium fights and how well he performs there compared to a few other rank 3 skill champions. And yeah, so this is like a basic fight. And I just want to see how long is it going to take us to take down this 17k rocket, and how the fight itself is going to look like. So I might not be playing the best in this video, obviously. There might be some more kind of like committed Ronin players who know the better rotation of the stances and stuff like that. But I am kind of trying to be aggressive and playing him the way he's intended, with some backdraft intercepts and stuff. And that is like another thing. It's actually quite, I'd say, annoying to play with Ronin for prolonged periods of time, because you have to constantly keep checking which stance you're on, how you need to finish your combos, kind of like cut them short. It's always nice to kind of play aggressive and, like, you know, do a 3 combo, do a backdraft, do 4 combo, do a backdraft, and so on and so forth. The problem with Ronin is that you also need to bait out specials, and that often like really kind of like jerks with your play rhythm and kind of like takes you out of it. So if I have one suggestion that would make Ronin a lot more fluid character, I wouldn't say that that would make him like really awesome, but I just feel that he's missing a mechanic like Taunt. Because if he had Taunt, and opponents would play more aggressively against him, and you wouldn't have to spend so much time betting on special attacks, he would feel a lot better to play, because he is built like basically for aggression. Also, one more good thing about Ronin is that you can build the stances and kind of like get them ready hitting opponent in a block. So that is also like not too bad, but again, it's not really a game changer. As we saw there, it took us like nearly 40 hits, I think, there to take down that rocket. And now we're going to take a look how we're doing against our Jane Foster. And then I'm going to be using a rank 3 Taskmaster on same suicide setup. And after that, we're going to be checking again on our rank 2 Night Thrasher and how we compare here. So here I'm kind of like holding my level 3 for a bit, just because I did mess up a bit before, and I lost my cruelty stacks. But anyway, so we're at 45 hits. Jane Foster is still at 25%. And yeah, I think we're going to shoot our level 3 over here in a second. And we're going to see how that works out for us. But yeah, anyway, so it's going to be about 60 hits till this Jane Foster goes down. Now, granted, I could have played a little better. I did make that mistake, which made me lose my cruelty stacks. So we could have gotten this number slightly lower. But anyways, so we're going to take a look how Taskmaster does against these exact same champions. Because, let's face it, Taskmaster is not really known for his great damage output, is he? But yeah. So, Taskmaster as well, just like Ronin, has a bit kind of like tricky playstyle where you need to kind of mix match your combos and land certain hits. So that's why I chose him for this video, because he has certain similarities with Ronin. It's again like not your standard playstyle, it's a skill champion. You kind of like need to fulfill your missions or stances, whatever. But yeah, let's see how Taskmaster is going to do. So we're at 18 hits here. We're going to launch our level 3. And yeah, but overall, like, you can see that the results are fairly similar. So Ronin, whose damage output is kind of like one of the things people kind of talk about him, isn't really capable of out damaging kind of like Magic slightly above average damage champions. So again, it's just kind of underwhelming considering all of his abilities are more or less based on like increasing his damage crit rate and so on and so forth. But yeah, also one thing I do not like, whenever somebody starts talking about character and how fun his animations feel, or how cool it looks, and doesn't really has anything much to offer, like that immediately to me was kind of like pretty much a dead giveaway. There is not too much to this character, which is the one main reason why I don't want to join contest creator program and test these new characters for Kabam when they grant you the maxed out 4-star, just because I don't feel like grabbing to straws and finding some sort of positives when I think the character is average or medium. So going forward, I will be trying my best to post character review videos, but that's not going to be in confines of contest creator program, because I do want to have the ability to be as critical and as honest as I can possibly be when I'm talking about these new characters. But yeah, anyways, so Taskmaster against Jane Foster here. So before we had like nearly 60 hits with Ronin, and I believe here now we're at 40, and she's like nearly dead. We're probably gonna finish around similar. So yeah, Taskmaster's damage is pretty much comparable to Ronin's, and that's gonna be pretty much it for me in this video. The last bit is gonna be Night Thrasher doing these same two fights at rank 2, as you can see. So this is gonna be rank 2 Night Thrasher doing pretty much exact same damage, or maybe slightly out damaging previous two characters, being a whole rank lower character. So we can definitely see that, yeah, it's not all that in damage output wise. But anyways, that's gonna be me done ranting for today. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope it helped you to kind of like decide what you think about Ronin, whether to go for him or not, whether to rank him or not. But yeah, I'm gonna be out for today. I hope you did guys enjoy it, and if you did, please do feel free to like it, share it, and subscribe, and drop a comment. So yeah, see you guys next time.